So Ryan, I feel like I've known you forever, but I don't really know you. I mean, this might even be the first or second time we've ever seen each other in person.
It's great to see you. We've communicated a ton over the years, and always loved you, respected your business, what you've done throughout your career. So I'm happy to be here. This is fun.
Boy, the feeling is mutual. I mean, you've kind of done so many inspirational things. And how did you get interested in real estate?
I started in 2001. I was sort of interested in investing. Was looking to become a first-time home buyer.
Okay.
And was not licensed at that time.
Okay.
But looked at a few properties and ended up buying a little duplex. And
where was it?
It's in Bloomington. I still own it.
Okay, love that.
So we bought it, rented it out, and this was kind of a different.
And you lived in half then? And
lived in the lower level, rented the upstairs out,
got
and
it.
This was a different time when you could buy with zero down or little money down, that type of thing, and so it sparked an interest in real estate.
What were you doing at the time?
So, out of college, as we were getting out of college, I'm the youngest of six, and one of my older brothers, Tim, is kind of a lifelong musician. And so in college, we had played a lot together, kind of on the two pianos, sort of the dueling pianos. And so after college, I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do when I grow up. And so Tim had been doing this music thing, so I joined him for a few years. So we're, out and about trying to sell some CDs. And remember the CDs?
I do remember the CDs. I remember 8-track.
Yeah.
So that's how old I am.
So it was so the music business and fun, just a lot of fun. Met a lot of people, and so did that for kind of a few years, really full time.
What do you guys still perform, don't you?
Yeah, so we every year we do a little Christmas show. So this past year we did there were 3 concerts. We did in Edina.
Dang,
it was fun. No, it was super fun, and it was a benefit for. We started a little family foundation, so for the O'Neill Foundation of Hope. And it's a fun show, kind of singing, playing, dueling pianos, bringing in other singers, instrumentalists. By the way, I've heard you've got a great voice, Lisa.
Oh, no. I talk a lot.
I mean, I've seen some of these episodes.
I talk a lot. I can't sing, though. I wish I could. How great would that be?
Yeah, it is.
So where in Edina do you do these shows?
So the 3 shows it's just the Edina Performing Arts Center.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was 3 Christmas shows. We're going to be doing that again this year as well, too. So it's fun.
Can I buy a ticket today?
Not yet. We don't have them on sale yet, but it is it's a fun deal, and but the music business is I'm always encouraging, especially young people, to go into it. I think a lot of parents, think, hey, you can't make a living, but I'm a big believer in sort of following your heart and your passion, and both of my parents were that way. My late father was that way, and so anyway.
Was your dad a musician as well?
No, you know what? He was, as he would say, he was sort of a small town attorney down in New Prague.
Okay.
And Dad.
And that's where you grew up?
Yep, grew up down in New Prague. My mom is down there. Okay. Mom is in her late 80s. Okay. And she's like the mayor down there.
Oh my God, I love it.
Mom's very active, socially. Friends, church, she's doing great. So my sister lives down there too, but grew up down in New Prague.
Okay. So you're doing the music thing, and you buy this duplex, and how does that spark your interest in real estate?
Yeah, so started buying a couple other properties, and again, this was sort of the zero down
residential.
Yeah, mostly residential, and eventually got my license, and then I thought. This is fun. I enjoy it. Why don't I work with other people, helping other people? So started to help other people who were looking to invest in real estate. I remember.
So mostly investors, or were you
mostly
doing
investors,
not homeowners. Okay.
I had a little ad in the Star Tribune that says, "Do you want to learn how to invest in real estate? Call Ryan." And so I'd get a call. hey, Ryan, this is Bob. I'm in Blaine. I want to invest in real estate. So I'd go meet Bob at Perkins or wherever and sit down. And,
How many deals do you think were done at Perkins?
yeah. So, that kind of thing,
Right.
and slowly over time, started working with some other folks on the team, some other agents who said, hey, maybe let's work together, because we started to generate some leads. And slowly, added a few agents, and that's kind of when, our team, the Minnesota real estate team, sort of began. And that was sort of the start of it.
And when was that? So when did
So,
you
like,
kind of went off on your own?
Yeah, like 2003, 2004, 2005.
Okay.
And so I was actively selling as an agent, maybe from 2003 to 2013.
Okay.
And then at that point, I stopped selling and kind of went all in on the agents on our team, sort of as my clients.
Okay.
And so, helping them business-wise, development. So a little different role that I do now, but yeah, it's a fun group of people.
Yeah, and how many are you?
There's like 225.
Wow.
So it's a good group. Yeah, good group of all ages, ethnicities, locations around the Twin Cities, types of personalities, new agents, experienced agents. And with the business, there's a lot of people that come into the industry. And so, it's more, I would say I have a passion for people, more than real estate. Real estate has kind of been the sort of the vehicle, but the human side of it is what gets me out of bed.
Well, and that's a lot of humanity to manage.
It is a lot of humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of humanity. But it's like from your great career. It's a labor of love.
Right.
It's investing in people.
Yeah.
It's learning a lot about people, and it's as you know, the real estate business it's all about humans, and helping people get to where they want to go with it.
Well, each one of them basically has their own business. So you're like the ultimate business coach in some respects.
Yeah, it's I always say it's not a better role. It's not than being an individual agent and selling. It's it's kind of finding what you enjoy doing and finding your skill set.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times with probably any business is people always feel like there's a next level. And I'm a big believer that there isn't always a next level, that it's more about, finding what you enjoy doing and focusing on that. And it may not be managing people. Maybe it's being a great residential agent or being a great commercial agent and focusing on that business. So I think with our industry, there's always this tendency that you've got to, one more. There's like, okay, now I'm an individual agent. Now I've got to be a team. Now I've got to be a bigger team. Now I need to start my own company. I think it's more about finding what you enjoy doing, what you're good at.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really interesting and really questioning that. Do you think that changes over time, or do you think it's just the ultimate objective to figure out where you really fit in?
Yeah, I think real estate agents, we were talking about a little bit. They're independent contractors. They're business people who are always looking to to grow, and so I think there's a tendency to always want to say, hey, I'm doing well, or things are going well, but maybe they could be better. Kind of whether it's the grass is greener mentality,
Yeah, right.
But yeah, it's an interesting industry, but the last few years have been more of a challenge for the residential market.
Has it been?
Just less transactions.
So talk to me about the market. What's going on?
Yeah, it's a little bit higher rates compared to COVID. A little bit more of a challenge, just not as much inventory.
Yeah.
Not as many people moving. For the residential agents, less deals.
Yeah.
So with less deals, it's more of a challenge.
Yeah.
And but every market, as every market has a challenge. So it's just
and
how
opportunities,
are, yeah.
right?
Yeah. How are we going to rise to the occasion and figure out where the business is.
Do you find yourself in a cheerleading role?
Some of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of that. I mean, I think the world's so negative. I mean, it's just everything's negative. You know what I mean? You hop on X or Twitter or social. I mean, it's just hard to get away from it.
Yeah.
So I think
Well, and life is hard.
life is hard.
And real estate's not easy, so
Yeah.
it's not, and you don't have everyone kind of going, I mean, hey, you did a great job today. Like, you're, by the time you get the deal done, you're kind of exhausted,
I know, right? Well, and it's a lot of times an individual sport.
Okay, yeah,
Where-
right. That's a good point.
And but I think what's happened over the last 25 years is teams have become much more common.
Okay.
Where agents are maybe at a brokerage, but they're looking for more of a team where they have some support, some cheerleading, some mentoring, coaching. So I'd say teams have become a lot more common over time.
And that just sort of helps provide the support and infrastructure. And again, whatever you're talented and you're passionate about, that aspect you can shine in a group, maybe even more so than you can doing it on your own.
Yeah. Yep. And it's so the agents with us, for example, are they could really do anything. They could go start their own brokerage. They could go start their own team. They could just be an individual agent. So it's like any business where you have to provide value
Right.
to people in order for them to stay. And I think that's, for any good organization, that's, I think, one of the most critical things, retention and treating your people well. If you treat your people well, good things are going to happen.
How do you provide value? If I'm an agent working for you, what are the things that you're doing to provide value?
Yeah, so we do a lot of lead generation. So through any and all forms of advertising, people that are looking to buy a house, sell a house.
Yeah.
So we're providing leads to our agents. We do a lot of coaching, training, mentoring, weekly training sessions. Yesterday we had one. There were probably 30 people there, but a fun group. I think people need to get out of their house. And I think with real estate, the business has become so mobile where a lot of agents are just in their house and they're on their phone all the time. So we provide a lot of in-person training, but valuable training.
Yeah.
Not just, hey, let's get together, Lisa, and chat about whatever. It's got to be meaningful for people.
Okay.
And so, we do fun stuff. We do a top producer trip. So if an agent sells a certain amount, I pay for a all-inclusive trip for them and a guest.
Wow.
Last year we had like 50 people.
Wow. Where'd you go?
We went to Puerto Vallarta.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we go to a nice resort, all-inclusive. I'm a lot like my dad. It's for me, it's about having fun, treating people well, and I think, and again, I think when you do that, good things happen over time, and I think with teams, there's a lot of different team models that are out there, but ours is really just all about the agent. And again, it's not based on me. It's called the Minnesota Real Estate Team. So people don't know me from really anybody on the team, which is kind of by design.
Different than your competitors in some way, shapes, or forms. So.
Yeah, some people, what I found, here's the thing, Lisa, I found people don't care who I am. People don't, when
I
you're...
care.
I know you do. You're too
really
kind.
care.
But here's the thing, is when you're listening to list a house or sell a house or whatever, you want a certain experience. You want somebody that's going to pick up the phone, that's going to call you back, that's kind, caring, thoughtful, knowledgeable. And so it's more about the agent for us. And if we can have our agent, their name on the sign, their name front and center, that helps them grow their business long term. Yeah, so it's just some subtle changes, subtle things with the business.
Yeah. And how many hats do you wear then? I mean, when you're running a business, there's a lot of hats, right?
Yeah.
So which projects do you take on, or what is your kind of marketing, recruitment, all the things?
Yeah, so we have, we kind of have a smaller team that works with me and the Minnesota real estate team. We have a full-time recruiter, recruiting agents. We've got 3 or 4 folks that help out with a variety of like day-to-day things. So I would say my role is meeting a lot with the agents, helping the agents, phone calls, emails, problems, when there's problems on transactions, broker-related stuff. With the industry, there can be all kinds of issues and problems, and you have to be there quickly to support people. You can't say, "Hey, Lisa, I'm out of town for 2 weeks. I'll call you back." So I'm pretty quick for response time as well. But I would say a lot of the work with the team and even through our music has sort of spun off into a lot of what we're doing with the foundation now, and really having a heart for that. And by the way, I love your glasses. You got your glasses? I love those.
Thank
you. Those
you.
are fun. Sorry, I'm
kind
random.
of a new thing, but so talk to me about your foundation.
Yeah, it's.
I'd like to know more about that.
Yeah, it's called the O'Neill Foundation of Hope. Started. It's been about 3 years.
Okay.
The idea was, so many great organizations, charities. With the business, I feel like. I've worked a lot in my life. Kind of the old song of kind of chasing a dollar. And I feel like, as we get a little older, everybody's still working, but you want to do things meaningful. And, and for me, I've always wanted to start some kind of foundation. And so it's local. We're sort of small and nimble, but we help families, individuals, kind of people who maybe have fallen through the cracks. Maybe there's been a few different things that have happened: loss of job, recent cancer diagnosis, facing eviction, food scarcity needs, mobility needs. People, really good people that need help. And what's hard is a lot of the big organizations, these folks aren't always candidates for.
Right.
And so we're a 501c3, fully tax-deductible donations, but our goal is to help 2 families a week.
Wow.
Yeah, locally, in a meaningful way. So we spread the word social media-wise. We've got a website, o'neillhope.org. And most of the people we're helping are local folks. And so we have one person who's kind of full-time with the foundation who talks with folks, determines how we can best help, that type of thing. So it's fun. It's a fun deal. And that duplex I talked about is we're opening up in about a month. It's going to be a transitional home for single mothers, people basically going through a difficult time. So it's going to be rent-free, but we're going to have 2 families living in there at any given time. So the old original duplex.
I love that.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's that type of stuff.
How do you vet who you're, working with?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we believe, obviously we believe in work, in not just a kind of a free handout, but so our process is, we've got a kind of almost an intake form where people call in. We've got like 7, 8 questions. We'll meet with them, determine, is this a valid hardship? Is this actually something that really is, a valid hardship? And if so, then we will act. We're pretty quick with it. But in some cases, it may not be as valid of a hardship, and we may connect them with resources and not always help financially. Mm-hmm. So we've got a good system with it, because at the end of the day, we want to respect our donor.
Right.
And it's very important to me that it's not just, hey, yeah, come on over and we're going to give you $1,000. But you'd be surprised, and just through your life, a lot of good people that have had some bad things happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of bad things.
Yeah. Give me one story.
One story. Let's see. Someone recently that we helped. Young man has got ALS. So dying. He's like 27.
Aw.
Had his wheelchair stolen.
Oh, gosh.
Wheelchair stolen. Lives in St. Paul. We heard about it. Went, bought him a new wheelchair. It was like $3,500. Got to know him. Super good guy. Super good kid. And so those types of things. I mean, there's a lot of those kind of stories where it's just like, you've already got something going on,
For
and
sure.
you just got whacked again.
And it seems like that always happens.
Yeah, and people don't, not everybody's got $3,000 sitting around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's life is hard now, and we're seeing it with the real estate market. A lot of young people that they're working 2, 3, 4 jobs. We were talking about. I got a nephew who's working a side hustle. It's hard to buy a house now. So
Yeah.
and that's it's a tough time, I think, economically.
Yeah, interesting.
I'm rambling. Sorry.
No, I mean, you're kind of on
Yeah,
a soapbox
yeah.
for me. Like we're going to talk a lot more about that offline because I'm really interested in what you're doing. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
You have a radio show.
Yeah, radio show. We need to have you on the radio show. We're going to have you on the show. That
All
is
right,
that
all right.
that you have. It's every Saturday. It's on WCCO, 10 to 11. It's called the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We've been on for almost 20 years doing the show. A couple different stations.
Yeah.
But we've been on CCO for a few years, and fun, informational, interview different guests. Similar.
Yeah.
This is kind of a similar type of format. We were joking a little bit. Normally, I'm in your role,
Right.
So I'm a good redirector. Tell me about you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, but
This is
so
about
it's fun.
you, right?
It's fun. It's bring on different folks in the industry. It's more informationally based.
Yeah.
It's not a hey, we're the best, call us type of thing. It's more what's going on in the market, buyers, sellers, investors, informationally. How can we help people? So we've got a lot of fellow agents and brokers who watch and listen. It's fun. It's a fun deal, fun show.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that you have this mentality. I mean, I think there's even been a couple of books about it where, if you give to people, whether it's your employees or your clients or, people in need, like
Yeah.
that is just a beautiful way to exist in the world, and it all comes back around.
Yeah.
If you have that mentality.
Well, you do the same thing. You're the same type of person. I mean, I think life is hard. Life is hard, and especially as you're trying to work, you're trying to make money. And so, again, I grew up in a very blue collar family, very practical. So I understand that on a human level,
Yeah.
really. And so I think, I see it with real estate agents, with others, and I think the mentality of, whether it is your faith or having a belief in something a little bigger than yourself,
Yeah.
I think can help you versus when if you're wired so tightly that you have a harder time with that, it can make it tough.
Yeah. Well, I think that, it sounds like you're in a really good role to where you can impact a whole bunch of people. Where do you see the residential real estate headed in the near future?
Yeah, I think it's, the Twin Cities is, again, super low inventory, and I think it's, I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think there's so many people that bought during COVID that have low rates that don't want to move, or maybe they want to move, but they don't want to give up that rate. The dam is breaking a little bit where there's, relocation clients, families getting bigger, having kids, some unhappy things, divorce, death, relocation, but just not a lot of inventory. So I don't see it changing a lot the next few years. I think it's going to really kind of continue to be a seller's market. Values are going to keep slowly going up. And I think it reinforces the importance of having a really good agent who can help you find a property.
Right.
Because the days of going on the MLS and just searching for a house and, hey, I got a house and here we go. You need somebody that's going to door knock, that's going to send out letters to neighborhoods, that's going to kind of shake the trees. So,
Or even hear from other agents that something's coming
network.
before it happens.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
how we originally
right.
connected, Matt.
Right.
You got to network, you got to know people. So it's hard work. It's
Yeah.
hard work. And I think that we're seeing less agents in the business.
That's okay, though, I think.
There's a lot of people getting out of the industry.
Really?
I forget the
Interesting.
numbers last year. It was like over 70% of the agents didn't do one transaction last year, residential.
What?
In the
And
U.S.
how many in the U.S.?
Over 70%. Not a deal. So you think about that. That means you are working another job. You have
Right,
to.
of course.
So, do you know the contract? Do you know,
What's going on in the market?
Yeah, the
I
ins and
mean-
outs of the business. So you think about that from a consumer standpoint. Is that who you want your daughter,
Right.
Is she in Miami, by the way? Or no, you were visiting Miami.
Yeah, right. No, she's actually in Charlotte. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think about it.
Yeah.
Has she bought a house or is she
Not
renting?
yet, no.
Yeah. So again, she's looking to buy a house. You're like, is this somebody I really want my daughter working with here?
Right.
That hasn't done a deal, doesn't know it. So that's what makes it hard. And I think
Yeah.
we're seeing a lot of people get out of the industry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause how many residential realtors are there in Minnesota? Do you know the answer
I
to
should
that?
know the number. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It is
right?
a lot.
And it's a really low barrier to entry business.
super low. 3 weeks of class.
Yeah.
Three-
And it's it sounds so good because we all know a house, right?
Well, and the shows make it fun.
Yeah.
The shows are fun. You're seeing the good-looking couple. They're renovating the house and flipping it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, right. It looks easy.
It looks fun. It looks easy. And I think in the Twin Cities there are a lot of really good companies.
Yeah.
I have friends at all the different companies and teams, and so there's a lot of good other brokers too. I think it's just such a unique business.
It is.
That you need a real fire to like a drive and a work ethic.
Right.
If I meet people, they grew up on a farm. They are always going to do well because they're hard workers. It's requires so much independent motivation.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
And you can't be afraid to just pick up the phone and talk to people. And
What have you
and,
seen
know,
commercial wise?
Well, I think it's been interesting commercial-wise. Good redirect, by the way. There's far less agents, which we look to kind of your industry on the residential side from a marketing perspective because you have more tools to work with.
Yeah.
Historically, going to Colliers was fun for me because at least with the big company I have now, the tools and resources that you don't have access to as much because if I'm going to develop some tech for residential realtors, I have this huge, much, much larger audience to,
Yeah.
or client base. It's a really hard business. It's, commercial takes 5 years to make any money and you
Yeah.
have to be super driven. You have to be super hardworking. And it's the same kind of thing. It's a little different, avenue, but I think both cases, the importance of working with someone that's experienced and can be a good leader and, you can get some good training.
Yeah.
All of that is super important, I think.
Because when did you start your business? No, I do want to know. I do want to ask a couple. Come on.
I started Christensen and Company in 2001, about
Okay.
the time you were getting into
So-
the business. So yeah, and I think we bought our first property was a duplex, my
Oh.
husband and I, on Valley View Road in Edina.
Oh, good location.
In I think 1990.
Okay, wow.
So yeah, strong believer that that's a great way to get started in this business. I mean, I know some really, really successful people, yourself included, but their first purchase was a duplex.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot to be said for that.
Just buy something.
Buy something. I think that's good advice for
Buy
sure. And
something.
it's scary and hard.
It is scary.
And it takes a lot of money and risk and capital. But the earlier you get started, the better.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of commercial agents who have kind of run the 50-yard dash.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months or a year, and then they've gotten out of the business.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely hard. I think it's hard to make. I mean, there's less competition, maybe.
Yeah.
In commercial than there is in residential, because boy, everybody knows a lot of residential agents, right?
Did
So-
you continue actively buying rental properties, investment properties?
We always owned a handful, but
Yeah.
we did not. And I have the same question for you. I wish we had bought more, but my husband's also in commercial real estate as a broker, and we lived on the cycles of real estate. And so
Yeah.
to invest in real estate and have your core competency, your day-to-day income in real estate, we invested in some other things, the stock market, et cetera, to kind of diversify that, because
Yeah.
having all of your eggs in the real estate cycle is, a little challenging. How about
Right.
you? Did you continue to invest?
Yes, still kind of landlording. I would say
Okay.
I am not a good landlord.
Okay.
I think I've enjoyed it. But I think my advice always is you need a really kind of good, strong, business-minded, just to run it like a business.
Oh, for sure.
The humanity side of it, when you believe in the better nature of people, you can be burned as a
I
landlord.
was burned
Yeah.
only a handful of times, and enjoyed being a landlord for the most part. But it was, but whenever I confused my the business with the human part of it,
People.
I got burned. I mean, there was probably a couple occasions where, gave someone the benefit of the doubt.
So
and they
you're a
took
nice
it, but-
person, Lisa. I know you. So you gave them another month.
Well,
Another 2 months.
But the people that I actually didn't follow my rules as
Yeah.
to this is what you need to
Yeah.
do are the people that were the worst. I mean, it's something. I had a couple of issues. So, but for the most part, I mean, we sold. We only have a couple of rentals left, but
Yeah.
we had some really good. I had some great experiences. I loved, when my tenants would send me notes that you're
Yeah.
the best landlord I've
Aw.
ever had, and whatever. But it's hard work.
Yeah, it is
and
hard
it's,
work.
the middle of the night, and I mean, bats and floods and fires, and and it always happens when you're about to sit down and watch the Super Bowl. It's like,
Well, you have to be able to roll with it. That's
You
the
do,
thing too.
yeah.
That I do think for the just sort of the normal person that says, look, how could I build wealth long term?
Yeah.
I just think it is, in my opinion, one of the absolute best ways to just buy something. And then just know that it's not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to get those texts. You're going to get I got a call a couple nights ago. One of my tenants, they're allergic to the gas stove. So I had to Google it. I'm like, is this even a thing? I'm like, it's working. The gas stove is working. So, I mean, you got to roll with stuff.
Yeah.
If you're wound too tight, and I've had a lot of clients over the years who are just super wound tight, and they're like, oh my God, get me out of here. This is, you just got to roll with it, or have a good management company.
Yeah.
That says,
And
look,
that's
I'm not,
hard to
take it
find,
over.
too.
I don't want to deal with it. So,
Yeah.
but it's a great way long term.
Yeah.
Call yourself, in 10 years, 20 years, and say, look, how does the value of the property,
Yeah. And did you trade up into bigger, or did you stick
No,
on the
mostly
residential
just single
side?
family.
Because
Mostly
you knew
just
what
single
you were doing.
Yeah,
in the
mostly
single
just
family.
single family, and have done some fixing and flipping
Yeah.
a little bit too.
Yeah.
With a good friend of mine. And again, I think there's never a better time than the present. Some people say, well, the market's prices are so high.
Right.
I mean, every year I bought something, people would say the prices were high.
I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah, you have to look at it like a marathon.
Yeah,
And
for
just
sure.
just give yourself some time. Say, you know what, I'm going to call myself in 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch this every week or month.
Yeah.
Just find it, buy it, rent it, call yourself, in 5 years, and you'll see some good things happen.
I kind of wish we had exchanged into more, but we didn't exchange necessarily into bigger properties.
Sure.
And I, kind of wish we had done a little bit more of that. I don't like the word wish,
Yeah.
because, you just make things happen or you do it. But
Yeah.
if I had to go back and do something different, I think I would have pushed myself just a little bit harder
Yeah.
on that. But, interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I'm grateful for where we sit today. For
Yeah,
sure,
but
because of
it
that.
is just something anybody can do.
Yeah.
Anyone can do. And even again, you're thinking, well, I'm young, or I've worked 3 jobs or whatever. I'm never going to be able to do it. I mean, I think it's just being smart with your money.
Yeah.
Trying to reduce some spending.
Yeah.
Saying, like one of my nephews who's working a side hustle. making some extra cash and slowly build, again, FHA, 3.5% down.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, 3.5%. Or VA, our God bless our veterans, 0 down.
Wow.
So, you can buy with minimal down.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, a huge chunk of change. But I don't know, all these apartment buildings going up in the cities with $2,500 in rent and, so expensive.
Yeah.
So much. So something to think about for a lot of the younger people. How can I buy a house?
Yeah. So what do you have planned for the future musically and real estate?
What do I have planned? It's funny. I just take it one day at a time.
That's a great plan.
It is.
Today's a good day?
Yeah, today's a good day. I think it is. Grateful for good health. I think the older you get, I don't know, you hop on Facebook or whatever, just seeing so much, people, I have a lot of good friends who unfortunately passed away, illnesses, different things. So I think just trying to make every day count, having fun. I think it's important to have fun and, have some fun in life, bring a little laughter back. Life is hard enough as it is. And so, we, just try to have a little fun, try to, take time for others, do something meaningful. I think just as you get a little older, it's important to chase the dollar, but, you realize there's more to life than that, I think as you get older. So, just taking it one day at a time, trying to make an impact. And, that's what gets me out of bed.
Well, I hope we can hang out a lot more.
We need to. You're coming on CCO.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, watch your email, or I'm going to email Jenna. By the way, Jenna's coming on the show next. I've heard.
Yes.
I'm not letting her off the hook here.
Well, this wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Jenna.
I know.
So
she was great with the follow-up. So next. That's good.
All right,
That's good.
Yeah, we gotta get her on.
She's like, "Are you gonna cut this off here soon?" Is this a beeper reel or what?
Brian, thank you.
Hey, no,
this is so fun.
Thank you. You are.
Let's party.
Hey, friends listening. So I've known this lady for a long time. She is loved, respected, and known so well in the Twin Cities market, the real estate industry, and just a gem of a human. And I speak the truth because I've met a lot of people.
Get a lot of money out. Here you go. Here, how much do I owe you?
I've met a lot of people. Wow. So cheers to you. Thanks for having me on. This is your setup here has caused me to upgrade. I need to think about upgrading our setup over at CCO.
This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for your time. This has been fun. Have a great week.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.